welcome to the daily news program called HOhA Gist with Ukorebi Esien. This morning, as usual, we'll be looking at trending stories within the state and the nation, and we'll try to delve into national and international issues. And I'll be, as usual, I will not be doing this alone. I have a good friend of mine, a senior comrade, and a member of the Cross River State State government or management board, because he is an appointee of government and he has a stake as long as governance in Cross River State is concerned. I'm talking of no other one than Mr. Kingsley Kweme. He is the DG of Greater Calabar Capital Development Authority, and he is a two-term DG, and also he is the pioneer DG of that agency. You're welcome to the show, Mr. Kingsley.
Thank you, Mr. Ukorebi.
All right.
Thank you,
Perseverance.
Good morning, viewers.
All right. So we wouldn't waste much of our time. We'll just delve into the matters of the day. First, we'll be reviewing local blogs within the state. What are the blogs in Cross River State saying? So we'll start with the daily news. First, the cover story of the daily news has it that Cross River State government withdraws 29 protesting magistrates amid 24 months of unpaid salaries. It was in the news some weeks ago that 29 magistrates who have been employed for 24 months have not been paid, and they went on rampage or on the street protesting and demanding for their wages. And the story this morning has it that they have been withdrawn from the Cross River State Civil Service. Mr. Kingsley Kweme, do you have anything to say about that?
This tempting. No, that very issue. I'm not a lawyer, and the Chief Judge of the state has spoken on the issue with the Commissioner of Justice. So I just want us to be there.
So, throw more light over yours. What did the Chief Justice say?
Well, I wouldn't want to speak on that. On that very matter.
All right. Thank you very much. But if I should add a little pepper to the cheese, I think what the Chief Justice said that those 29 magistrates were not formally or adequately, or if I should use the legal term, legally employed or engaged by the state civil service, and the governor, with the overall of the state, says he's not aware that they have been working for Cross River State. But it's also on news and it's everywhere. It's also visible that these 29 magistrates have been sitting on judges in their various courts across the state. So it beats my imagination why government would say that they are not aware that these people have been engaged and they have been working for 2 good years for the state. We move over to the next trending story still on the daily news, still centered on Cross River and the judiciary. We are looking at Cross River Chief Judge saga, and the story has it that there's confusion because NJC have turned down Ayade's bid to extend Justice HOha's acting tenure. Let me add more light to that. We know what happened sometime last year when Justice Ukorebi was due for the position of the Chief Justice of the state, and she was denied that. We actually dealt on that yesterday, where Mr. Benusan told us that the Cross River State House Assembly tagged her that she was a security risk to Cross River State, and maybe that was why she was denied that office. And not long from there, the governor appointed Justice Energy, who acted for a period of 3 months, and thereafter another Justice HOha was also appointed as acting Chief Judge. Remember, Justice Ukorebi also served as acting Chief Judge before she was refused confirmation by the Cross River State House of Assembly after the governor must have nominated her for that office. And today, what the stories are saying is that for the 4th time, the governor is attempting to nominate another acting chief judge or extend the tenure of the current acting chief judge. And the NJC, the National Judicial Council, are saying a no to that the right thing must be done. I don't know if our guest, Mr. Kingsley Kwebe, will have anything to say to that.
Well, I just want to say that I believe anything the government is doing is for the interest of the state. Yes, I'll leave it at that.
All right. So finally, I know this would interest Mr. Kingsley Kwebe because it has to do with his own local government area, which is the last story we have here from the Daily News is Udupane lawmakers impeach and beat up leader of council to HOhA. And I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
Well, thank you. We've heard this story like every other person. So as the chairman of the Udupane Leadership Academy, we should assemblage of all past students and youth leaders of Udupane Extraction, where both Honorable Goswell and Honorable Eton Efio are both members, yes, and most of the councillors are members, where the chairman of council, our amiable and dynamic chairman, Honorable Mrs. Justina, is our patroness. So when we got the information, we swung into action immediately. We set up a 5-man committee to investigate this incident. So the committee has 3 days to submit its report. So the committee has started work. So in the next 3 days, we will get a report from the committee.
Okay, let's look at the impeachment process. Will you say that it was constitutional for such an impeachment to have taken place? Is there no process? I think there are constitutional processes where whoever have been found wanting, first the person must be petitioned, second the person must be called to answer to his petition, he or her petitions and all that before a committee is set up to inquire and all that, and finally the impeachment takes place.
Thank you very much. Your submission is not out of place administratively. So that is why we've set up this committee to go down and make sure that a thorough investigation is being done. If these processes were followed, yes, we've set up that committee because the impeachment process has almost all the signatures of
yes,
councillors.
11 out of 18.
Yes, it hasn't happened like this in recent times.
Yes.
So that is what we want to find out. What's really the matter? Was the situation that bad? And it was never brought to our knowledge. We just got to know about it.
That is where I actually have issues also, because if 11 out of 13 councillors are saying you have not led us well, you have been found guilty and all that, and whoever, all the persons have called from the local government council and those who have 1 or 2 offices, they keep saying that nobody was aware that such a plan was in the hatchet, and until it was executed, nobody knew. So I think to that effect, one may summarize that the due processes, the process of the petitioning and the petitionee coming to answer, because if those processes were followed, then I think 1 or 2 persons should have known that there's an impeachment process ongoing.
Well, we will not just conclude on it. Probably they were trying to manage it as a family. Udupane is a family. They was trying to manage it as a family until it escalated. So I want to give them that benefit of doubt. By the time the committee meets with the both parties, the committee is going to meet with both Goswell and Eton Efio honorables. Yes. By the time they meet with them, they will come up with their findings. Then at that point in time, we will also meet with our patroness, who is the chairman of the council. Yes, and other relevant stakeholders to get the first-hand information, so that this process is not being hijacked by hoodlums. Yes, so the panel already has been bedeviled by both inter and interstate communal clashes. So they don't want any.
Actually, that is where I also wanted to delve in a little, because I think from findings, Eton, who has been sworn in as the leader of council, and the former leader of council who was allegedly impeached, I think they are from 2 warring communities, and they are, both communities are fighting each other. So if back home their villages are fighting each other, and down here they engage themselves in a fight, don't you think the community will see that okay, it's a continuation of a communal war, and the peace process which government and also your academy have been trying to put in place will be scraped out.
I don't see getting to that level. I must commend the governor for his ingenuity in trying to resolve communal clashes both in the state and also the proactive chairman, Honorable Mrs. Justin Idea. She has been doing her bit. She has done very well to ensure that lasting peace to another return to all warring communities over the planet. And also the panel leadership academy have been complementing her effort. So both parties, the both parties involved are our sons, and they are also comrades. They've been in the struggle also. So I just believe it's just a game of interest which should be resolved on the floor of the house. It will not get to the communities. It will not get to. So that is why we had to immediately swung into action by setting up committees to go in and interface with them also.
The beating into coma, is it part of the impeachment process?
Well, we've heard it also. We've heard it. I will not deny I saw a picture of Crossway on bed, yes, on the hospital bed. So, but when the findings are being made, then we now draw a conclusion to this, because you don't assault anybody. Your right stops where the laws when you begin. You don't have the right to take the laws into your hand, no matter what. So, if it's true, if it's confirmed upon investigation and it's true, I think the relevant government agencies will swing into action and do the needful to foster possible reoccurrence.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley. I know you wouldn't want to believe, but I think there's a political undertone. There's a struggle for power, and it's not just within the councillors. I think, like we all know, that for every dancer there is a drummer behind the scene, and I believe two drummers, two political heavyweights within the state, or maybe in the council, are drumming for the councillors, and they are fighting and playing dirty, because that shouldn't happen among allies, especially when you call yourself a lawmaker. So we'll move over to the next blog in Cross River State, which is the Helium. On the front page of the Helium, we have Cross River State government to inject World Bank SFTA's grant into 2021 budget to curb youth violence. That is from the Commissioner for Finance, Honorable Ms. Asuko Ekwenyong Jr. And let me just throw more light to that. Last year, there was this rumor that Cross River State had lost out of the World Bank grant, and the Honorable Commissioner for Finance weighed in and said that no, that Cross River State would offshore get its own share of that grant. And as God will have it, through the hard work of the Ministry of Finance, led by Mr. Asuko Ekwenyong Jr. and the state governor, I think they have been able to not just only secure the grant, but won an extra $10,000, making it a total of $20,000. I think $20 million or so. And now the Commissioner of Finance is saying that that money will be sunk into 2021 budget to help curb youth restiveness and violence. Mr. Kingsley, do you have anything to say to that?
I must commend you. What you just said is not out of place. It shows that you are thorough and you carry out investigative journalism. Mr. Asuko Ekwenyong Jr. has done his bid. We must commend him. He's a youth, he's part of us. He has done his bid. So we commend him for that, and commend the governor also for giving the youth platform to bring out their leadership qualities. So I want to say, well, the money being channeled towards the youth is not out of place. You know, youth are prime movers of events in any society, whether positively or negatively. They could become agents of destruction when neglected. So His Excellency Ben Ayade, in his wisdom, have taught it wise that youth capacity development should be key. When this is done, it will reduce crime rates in the state and create job for achieving youth. That is why His Excellency is doing his bid to decouple the state from federal allocation by engaging industrialization. When this industrialization drive of His Excellency is fully actualized, when it comes into fully functional, it's going to create jobs for achieving youth. So this is a welcome development and must be appreciated by all cross-bearers.
All right, so we'll quickly move over to the national dailies, where we have a school resumption. That is from the Punch. We have school resumption. NUT meets on Thursday over COVID-19 rules. and they say that partial compliance has been recorded. Yesterday we dwelt on that a little, where we said that though ASU may not be may not be wrong when they say that the federal government have not been able to comply to the COVID-19 rules in terms of school resumption and providing of personal protective equipment among within the school campuses, so as to forestall the spread of the virus when school resumes. And now the National Union of Teachers are going to meet on Thursday to deliberate over this, as they are saying that that federal government have been able to comply partially to this. And now the next headline there on the Punch is PDP woos Ukorebi as ex-governor lampoons APC and plans a new party. And I believe you're a member of the PDP, Mr. Kingsley Berman, and you know the story of Richard Ukorebi, how he had moved from your party to APC and all that, and now he is planning to start a new revolution. So there's a news headline, I think that is found on this day on the Nation, where he says we are championing a new political party. So what do you have to say?
Well, you see, we should play politics with ethics, not jumping from one party to another like a political normal. We do political parties should be institutions with manifestos, clear-cut manifestos, and we should be able to adhere to our manifesto.
But do you believe in independent candidates?
Yeah, independent candidate, but we've not developed to that extent.
I'm not saying if you believe in it.
Yes, I believe in it.
Do you wish Nigeria should adopt independent candidacy?
Yes, why not? It will go a long way to develop our democracy, but I think we'll get there one day. It's a process. So I will call on the youth and every lover of good things to muster courage to defend our nascent democracy. The democracy is work in progress. We'll get there one day. I want to also call on politicians to stick to their manifesto, their political manifesto, and they should deliver on the dividends of democracy. This now, political.
I also think Ukorebi is fighting for or moving from APC or starting a new political platform. And it's not new to our politics here in Nigeria, and I believe that he is doing that because of presidency 223. It's not a hidden agenda. The East are fighting for presidency 223, so and the fight is coming from left, right, or center. Everybody on the East, they are trying to see how they can push themselves forward. So do you think, do you see power return to the East 223?
Well, Ukorebi, I will take him a political nomad. He is doing that to seek relevance. Yeah, he wants to know that Buhari was the Messiah, and now he's going to form another political party. So in Nigeria, we don't see. Youth are in need of role models. They need true models, statesmen, true models that they can emulate, that they can copy from. So presidency going to the East. Well, if the East have a sellable candidate, one who is professional, one who has the leadership qualities, the knowledge and the experience, why not? We just need to take Nigeria out of where it is now. At least let's keep Nigeria, let's preserve Nigeria for the next generation. Because what is going on now is unheard of. We are selling all our assets, we are borrowing from everywhere. It's just unfortunate situation.
All right, still from the Nation, we have a news headline that says Jonathan's romance with APC triggers anxiety in the PDP.
Well, Jonathan is a statesman, so he can afford to romance with everybody, can embrace everybody. But we know he's a carry member of the PDP, yes.
And I'm sure you've heard of the rumor that he may likely come back for 2023 presidency, or he's being wooed into joining the race.
Yes, well, you know, PDP have always been producing the best, so they have to come for him. If that's because PDP have been giving the best to Nigeria. So if that is the case, then it's a plus to PDP. Yes.
All right. So I think before we wrap it up, I just want to ask this: you are a young person, and I believe you believe in the strength of youth, because for the past minutes you've been here, you've been singing youth this, youth that, and all that. There's this movement after the EdSARS protest. there's this movement called National Young Democratic Party or something like that, that is pushing out strongly. Yesterday they had their first meeting in the FCT, and I think I am aware that there is a branch of that movement in the States, because have been added to a WhatsApp group of a branch of that movement, which is I think Econ chapter or something like that. So what do you have to say about that? Will you endorse such a movement, especially if it becomes a political party? Will you want to be part of such movement?
Well, I've heard it as a rumor, and I'm hearing from you as an authority, the full extent of the realm, hearing from you. So I want to say that there is nothing wrong in people coming together to think positively for their society. So it's not out of place if the youth should come together and decide to give meaning to representation. I don't see anything out of it. I will always follow a group that their conduct is within the ambience of the law. So if such a group is coming in and is interested in the welfare of the citizens, and also to contribute their quota towards the state and national development, I think it's a welcome development. Everybody will welcome them.
All right. Thank you, viewers, for having time to join us on HOhA Gist with Ukorebi Esien. Like I said, or like we do say, HOhA Gist is a platform where you say it just the way it is. We say it HOhA without fear or favor, without mixing words, or without trying to or being economical with the truth. And it's been nice having you join us this morning. And I want to say a very big thank you to our viewers and to our guest here on the show, Mr. Kingsley Kwebe. Please, I'm very much grateful that you find time out of your busy schedule to join us this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, viewers, see you tomorrow next time. Tomorrow, same time, rather, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live. And you can join us through your comments, your contributions, and all that. We'll read your comments from here when you send in your comments. See you tomorrow, same time, same platform, the Daily News. Thank you very much.